Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you about a little rifle that's been in my collection for quite some time and really helped form a bridge, if you like, between more standard gameplay and the requirements needed to play as a sniper within the world of airsoft. And that gun is the Ares Amoeba AS-02. Now, in terms of form, this is obviously not your traditional long gun and probably could be considered more as a scout rifle than a sniper rifle. And for me, that was the contributing factor in forming that jumping off point, if you like. Maybe you're in the same boat I was, where you've played airsoft for a little while and a lot of the videos that you see being produced on YouTube were of the point of view of an airsoft sniper. And it's very easy to get caught up in the majesty, or the romantic notion is probably a better term, of being a sniper within the game, getting those crispy little snipes in and what have you. But the reality can be very, very different. Now, I don't say that to discourage you, but for me at least, I wasn't, when I purchased this gun, I wasn't 100% convinced that the sniper rifle role, as much as I was looking forward to playing it, would actually end up being for me. Certainly not on a full-time basis. And that's purely down to the nature of the game, or the role, I should say. And I mean, we've all played those games on your Xbox, your PC, your PlayStation, whatever, where you get those stealth missions and you got to sneak around. There's a lot of waiting, and they're just not for me. Never have been, probably never will be. And I was concerned that the same thing would apply to the sniper role, where the reality of sitting in a ditch for 20 or 30 minutes and only shooting 2 people would bear a toll on me mentally. And essentially what I wanted was a happy medium. So I looked for something in the form of a scout rifle, and that's precisely what we have here. It's a bolt gun, but a much more compact design. And as I say, there are other options out there. You could go for an SRS, that kind of thing, and you'll pay twice as much as you will for this. So in that respect, I wanted something that was cost effective, that would ease me in, if you like. So what do you get with the AS-02, and why should you be considering getting one if you're in the same predicament I was? Well, you get a very lightweight and snappy design. This thing is predominantly polymer front to back. Only really the internals and the barrels have any metal in them. Obviously your optic will count towards that weight as well, but essentially what you get is something that form-wise feels very similar to your sort of standard rifle setup, whether it be an AR-15 or an AK, whatever. Essentially you can shoulder it, run and gun with it, and it doesn't feel out of place. Obviously in terms of run and gun, you're not going to have that firepower, you're not going to have that rate of fire. You are dealing with a single shot bolt design, and but as I say, that mobility that you'll gain is the important thing here. That ability to still tread through the woods or through your CQB zone. CQB is perhaps a little bit dodgy because this will obviously be overpowered for really tight engagements, but you get my point. That sort of woodland is probably what we're looking at here. But so let's go through the gun tip to toe. So starting at the front, if you're looking to run a suppressor, you will need, or you're most likely to need, an adapter. These run Ares sort of specific 22 or 23 mil, I'm unsure off the top of my head, mil threads. So you will need an adapter if you've got a standard suppressor running 14 mil counterclockwise to make it fit. Saying that, Ares do their own range specifically designed around this thread, and some of it looks very nice, but it's probably going to be unnecessary. Essentially, I've chosen to go with nothing because I want to keep it nice and short. I want to keep that mobility. I want to keep that that agile nature to the gun, if you like. Perhaps I'm over romanticizing it now, but we have some M-lock capacity at the front, so also we have the ability to mount bipods and what have you. Again, for me, it wasn't really a necessity. The gun is light enough, snappy enough, that the whole notion of needing to run a bipod doesn't really come into play. By all means, put a bipod on it if that's your bag, and certainly in terms of you know, aesthetics, it may be something you want. But yeah, we've got some M-lock at the front. The hop-up is one of those top dead center variants. So you have a small little Allen key which pops in just under there. I don't know if you see it because my scope might be in the way. Little grub there which you can alter the hop-up. Very nice, very easy to do. I would note that if you have anything too big in terms of scope, you're going to impinge on your ability to change that on the fly. But saying that, you should have it dialed in anyway. In terms of the Allen keys, quite nice little feature is that built into the stock here, you get supplied with the right size Allen keys, which nestle away nicely in there, in the handguard, in the pistol grip section, and float away, and that's quite a nice little addition, if nothing else. Mags are very nice, very easy to swap in and out. Magwell is not flared in any way, but certainly doesn't impinge. The trigger. If we action the bolt, I'll show you what I'm going to talk about with the trigger. The bolt is a very short pull, so that's nice. That could potentially increase your rate of fire if we're getting technical about things. But very short pull, and if we look at the trigger, you can see that there's quite a dead zone section, but there's a very noticeable cliff edge. So you can rest on the trigger and wait, and then just take it over the edge at the last second once your target's in your reticle, that kind of thing. So that's quite nice. It's like I say, a lot of dead zone there, but very easy to find that cut point. As I say, the bolt is very short throw, nice and smooth, no complaints there. And to be honest, we get some sling points obviously in terms of that, and what was the other? Yeah, you have some sling points on the rear. Off the top of my head, I did think there was one at the front, but I'm talking bollocks. Either way, like I say, this is a really nice setup for someone who's looking to be able to reach out and touch people at a greater distance in the way a sniper would, but doesn't necessarily want to sit in one spot all day looking for those targets. This gives you the option to be a bit more mobile, be a bit more aggressive in your game style. And like I say, while you won't have the rate of fire, with some smart gameplay and, you know, not necessarily having to sneak around, you'll find that you can outrange most people's AEGs and what have you. And yeah, feel a bit like a sniper without having to lie in a ditch all day. In terms of FPS, these things are rated at around 400 FPS. in my experience, mine has never quite reached that. It's always around about 15 or so FPS below that. Could just need a good clean out and a bit of a service, but from day one I found that. So, you know, something to consider there, I suppose. You can get more powerful springs and what have you for them, but it's really not necessary for what we're looking to go for. Out of the box, this performs very, very well. And as I say, will give you that jumping off point, if you like, that toe in the water to see how you feel about committing more to the sniper role in the future, if that's your game. Okay, that's been my review and look at the Ares AS-02 Scout Rifle. And if you've enjoyed, if you've gained anything from this video, a new perspective on the role of snipers and what have you, a like and a subscribe is always welcome. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.